My name is Bridget Fetterspield. I am a teacher here at Stivers School for the Arts. We are celebrating our veterans today by holding We Love Our Vets program. We've been doing the program for 8 years. The veterans come in and do speed dating with the students, sharing with them stories about their service. It's a great community outreach program, and the veterans love it, and of course the students love it, and they actually look forward to it every single year.
First name, Robert.
many guys left. And I ended up in a night fighter squadron, and there were just very few of the original because they had all the time then and they went home. It was before the invasion, because when Patton's army came over to England, they were billeted right just about 10 miles from where we were located, the whole army. And of course, then when invasion came, they all went. I said about how we volunteered to go in. Yeah, you know that was good. I wanted to get in, and I was hoping something like that would happen, because they had warehouse full. They were getting a warehouse full of stuff over there, and with nobody knowing what to do with it. So they gave us those of us civilians we could skip the draft and go in as a volunteer. And there was, I thought there would be more. And it was a group that I was with, there were about 35 of us. And they were from different...
So they have some questions for you, Dad.
Okay.
Yeah. So, were you drafted into the military, or did you enlist for?
Could you hear? She wants to know if you were drafted or if you enlisted.
I enlisted. I was enlisted in 1943. That's the year you was born, huh?
He's teasing you.
Okay.
What are you, about a sophomore?
I'm a freshman.
How about you?
I'm a freshman as well.
Well, you look old.
Yeah, I do.
She's mature, Father. Let him answer.
I look old too. That's one of the older men here.
Yeah, they were talking to him, I think. Okay, go ahead. They have some questions for you, Dad.
What branch of the military were you in?
The Navy.
Navy. Did you like it?
Can you see that?
Oh, yeah.
I
Hey,
don't know if you like being in the Navy.
what's that mean? Mean you're losing your brain or what?
Did you like being in the Navy?
I enjoyed just different parts of it, yes. Had our pros and cons. Some places we loved and others we hated, depending on who you got in trouble with.
Have you studied much about World War II? So one of the big events was Operation Overlord, D-Day.
We didn't learn that.
Okay, that was kind of the start of the war when we went and helped France get liberated.
That was the name of the whole operation of doing the Europe invasion.
Okay.
And that was France was under Nazi, and so they went. You can see here, they decided to go into France, and then they came up here to Belgium. There was a battle called the Battle of the Bulge, a very bloody battle, and then into Germany. And so while the American and British and France and Canadians are coming this way, the Russians are coming this way, and they're trying to choke out Germany. You knew Germany was the common enemy, the Nazis in World War II?
Yeah.
Okay. So he went to France for the 70th anniversary of D-Day. That's what some of these pictures are from. He was in a parade in a little town that was the first town liberated. And we made some French friends there. He stayed with them in Paris. And it's a very big event.
And we sort of met the ambassador of
The U.S. ambassador
of France that came from England. And man, she made a big show. I made sure we all showed up when she came in.
These are just aircraft. Now, I'll tell you about the Pan American aircraft that would bring people in and take people back to the States. And that's just these pictures of showing some of the different aircraft that would bring people in and taking people out.
We're talking about this. This is me, Kyrie, in the military. In Guam, I was in Guam for 19 months. I had a great time, you guys. I was young, like you guys are. When you're young, you don't have to get rest. You can stay up, you can go to your party, and then go to work. But you probably look terrible. Okay, this is an award I got for helping build some huts, Guamanian huts. It was fun, not. Once again, Guam. Can you see that? I never heard of it. I put in for Hawaii. They asked me, where do you want to go? I said, I want to go to Hawaii. They didn't tell me no. They just said, at the last minute, you're going to Guam. I said, what? I told my sister. She started crying. We seen the movie how Guam looked. Black and white, bombing and everything. But you know, the military is to protect America. That's why we're here. That's why the military is here, to protect our country from other countries that might want to come. No one's come here lately. Actually, they really haven't come here to mess with America, because America's the toughest.
I don't know, because everybody is doing the same thing. It's like, I mean, they didn't know that much about black people.
I never thought they were
know that because we had racial relation classes where everybody had to dress like y'all do guys, so you couldn't know nobody's ranks. To ask questions and stuff like that. They had, like I guess we was like, maybe out of 35 guys might have been 4 blacks. When I went.
It wasn't as good as the bowling alley.
But that was in 73.
Yeah, bowling alley.
But in the military, it was one of the very few places that was more better on race relations than society was. They wasn't playing it. You know that, the prejudice thing.
She did a lot of graphic arts and helping them put presentations together and that type of thing. But she's incredibly into literature. She loves to read. She's very well read, and she embarrasses me sometimes about makes me feel uneducated. After all the years I spent in school, it's not a good thing. You guys, that's hard, particularly at your ages, to.
We're an all-volunteer force right now. Almost wasn't the case. There was talks back when during the early Iraq conflict, where President Bush was talking about having a draft, but it didn't end up happening, fortunately. But if there ever is a draft now, that women are going to be on it too now, so equality. But yeah. So I guess I'll just start with I did 4 years active duty in the Army, 3 years spent in Germany, 9 months spent in Afghanistan. This picture here is pretty much my unit, or troop. I was Bulldog Troop 191 Cav. On my base in Afghanistan, this was the most amount of military personnel I got to see. So, and then one of the cops I went to, there was only this many of us. So really not a lot of us out there. Where I was at in Afghanistan was right around this area. So I was close to Kabul, which is a major city, but we were still kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So it's kind of just out there. I was with the 173rd, so this is our unit patch, and I would have that on both arms. what do you guys think Afghanistan, like the topography, looks like, the landscape?
It's more like, not like, it's not as developed as US, so more like deserts, grasslands, yeah.
Okay. Yep, I hear desert quite a bit. It's not all desert. There is definitely some desert, but I mean, like they have farms, they have grass. A lot of it's mountains too, but like you see like this clay down, like this just dust. I mean, that's really what a lot of Afghanistan really is. So if you just think in desert, it's not all desert. There's water, there's trees. And here's a little bit more pictures. So how you were saying like their infrastructure. So they have buildings there, but they don't have buildings like what we have buildings. So like this building here is made out of brick and mortar and steel. Their buildings there are made out of straw and mud and poop.
Like what's it called? Like they do in like the bottom of New Mexico, there's like clay huts type of.
Kinda, yeah. Definitely not the same as what would be in Mexico, but probably something similar. I'm not very sure, but that's how they would do it. They would add these 3 ingredients together, but like those 3 ingredients mixed together and then heated in the Afghan sun made a super strong complex. Like we could not bring down their buildings. Like this building here, like we could bring them down, but it would be very difficult. It would take us all day. It was just, so they had buildings, but they weren't like ours. Like a lot of the buildings didn't have windows in them. It was just, they were very smart people. Definitely, it's a third world, but they didn't have a third world mindset, it seemed like. This is kind of where we would eat. Just a small little tent. Most of our meals came from bags. I really wouldn't say it was good. I mean, I'm glad I had food. I'm glad I just wasn't eating peaches out of a can, but I mean, if I had to pick like a favorite, like my favorite MRE would have to be like chicken pesto pasta. I mean, they had vegetarian options too. I mean, they would give you options, but like I was a really picky eater for the military. And once I joined the military, I had to stop being a picky eater. Like I didn't like broccoli or cauliflower. I got in the military and I learned to like broccoli and cauliflower.
I like broccoli and cauliflower. Well, not really.
That was fun, seeing everybody in uniform while coming in, seeing all the families holding up signs, welcome back home, because we got extended for an extra month because I don't recall, but we were supposed to evacuate some people from Yemen, so that's what we did for an extra month. And I think that was the best one I've had. And of course, graduating from boot camp. That was fun.
What was the food like?
The food is different. It's very different. Are you talking about on the ship or just in different countries?
Overall, like ship, different countries.
On the ship, they usually follow a recipe card on all, so it was just mandatory. But when I went to Jordan, because Muslims don't eat pork, so it was just like a pizza without pepperoni. So it's just cheese pizza or some other type of meat they have on it.
Would you suggest it for people here if you're going to the military? Would you suggest it for people who don't want to go to college? I was going to ask you.
I would, but the military isn't exactly for everybody, I have to say. I mean, you have to have a strong, a strong personality in a way, because, I mean, even for other military people who are getting out now do suffer from PTSD and stuff, which is, it's a really bad thing for anyone to have, but I don't know, it's just something you have to really think about, I believe. Or if you have the passion to serve for your country, then yes, I'll say join. But just because you don't want to go to college, I don't think that should be like the reason.
Yeah, my family encourages it if I don't have to go to college.
Is it because they give like free college benefits. Well, I would say do it if it makes you happy. Because it made me happy for like 5 years, but you know, I wanted to get out and pursue other things. But I don't regret any minute of it. It made me grow into like a more stronger person because I was really shy and really timid. Like I wouldn't even talk to anyone. I'd just sit there. And now I'm just comfortable talking to people, especially with my experience in the military. And you have to be able to, you know, have authority, especially when you rank up. You have to be like that, have a leadership type of skills. So it's really good way to develop new skills for the civilian world. And I don't know, it's just like a pride in it too.
So what was your choice? Like, why did you choose to go into the Navy?
Because I thought being on the ship was fun. And my dad made fun of me for it because he was in the Marines. And he started calling me all these like old Navy terms. I can't remember any of them. They would make fun of the Navy. And I didn't know if I can actually do combat. I mean, I probably would have been fine with it because the military will train you for it, but I just thought it was pretty cool just being on a ship and seeing a different side because everybody else was joining the Army and the Marines. I was like, oh, I'll just go Navy then. So it'll be cool to be different.
But anyway, those were the places that I was stationed. But while I was over in the Philippines, we flew all over, not just South Vietnam, but all over Southeast Asia, Japan, some of the other islands, Thailand, quite most often.
The Philippines, and they were working their way closer to Japan because of the airfields. That's what you were after, the airfields. So you really weren't stationed. Another interesting thing, even though he was in the Army, he actually spent a lot of time on ships, didn't he? Ships with the Navy guys. Because that's how you got around there.
We did all.
Yeah, with the ocean, you know, that's how they transported.
Was he more Air Force, military, Navy?
Army. You've seen them in movies.
Oh, yeah.
So that was kind of unique in how you disembarked your boats, huh?
Yeah.
You want to tell them the story about when there was an enemy tried to come through your lines on one of the islands? He tried to come through security. They sent you out on patrol. And what did you find?
I was towards the end of the patrol, and the front end walked over a cave. They didn't know it.
He was a country boy, so he recognized the tracks. But the city boys went right over the top of the cave.
And I called them back, and we went down there, and they started throwing grenades into the cave. And pretty soon, a Jap came hustling out with a grenade in his hand, and the guys right at the entrance shot him dead with 45 pistols.
So that was the closest hand-to-hand combat you had, and they could have come up from behind on you guys if you hadn't noticed that.
All the men were enlisted in the patrol except the second Louis, and he got hit hard in the legs with shrapnel. So we had to end up carrying him out.
And it wasn't pretty with all the death and destruction and injuries, was it? Saw a lot of people injured and killed.
Yeah, they say war is hell, and it's spick and span in the States maybe, but it's not nice at all.
Spick and span, you say when you serve in the military, you don't have to fight battles. Maybe it doesn't look so bad. When you're out there in the midst of it, it wasn't real pleasurable, was it?
No, all the death and destruction. And there's some generals have made a comment on that also, you know.
War is hell.
Yeah.
Right. As long as there'll be man walking the earth.
There'll be wars and rumors of wars.
Yeah.
So if you think there'll be peace at some time, you're mighty fooled, you know.
Hi, my name is Petty Officer Olivia Satterfield. I'm a first-class Petty Officer of the United States Navy, and my job is damage control. Boot camp 2 weeks after I graduated high school. Best decision I ever made. Very fortunate to be in the Navy. Let's see here. I enlisted, okay, so I'm like reading the questions. I enlisted in 2008. I left for boot camp in June of 2009. I went to boot camp in Great Lakes because when I went, the Navy only had the one place for boot camp, and they still do. So I went to Great Lakes. I graduated in August of 2009. I went to school for my job, which is firefighting. I'm a shipboard firefighter in the Navy. So I went to my school, graduated top of my class, and it was amazing because when you graduate top of your class, you get first pick orders. So I'm in the Navy, so can anybody guess where I got stationed at? Because I got to pick. Hawaii, yes. I went to Pearl Harbor. I was stationed on the USS Chaffee. It's a guided missile destroyer. I loved being on that ship. I got to learn how to do my job, and it was amazing. I got to do 2 deployments on that ship. I did humanitarian deployments. So what I did was my ship went out on its own. We didn't go in a strike group, and we pulled into as many countries as possible to do community service. So I've done community service in Singapore, Malaysia, Guam, the Philippines, South Korea. All in all, it was about 18 countries that I went to on those 2 deployments. When I was done there, I went to Virginia to another destroyer. I went to actually my sister ship, the James E. Williams. And I was there for 12 months, or 14 months. I was deployed 12 months of it though, and that's when I got to go to Europe and Africa. So I spent 11 months off the coast of Somalia, and we would pull into a couple islands off the coast of Madagascar and do some community service over there. So it was pretty amazing. I've loved my time. I've been here in Ohio for 3 years. I actually leave on Thursday. I'm switching to reserves, and I'm going to college. I'm going to Eastern Kentucky University. Navy's paying for all of my college, everything. So I'm going to finish my degree in fire science, and I'm going to commission and go back out to the fleet as an officer. And so let me see some of these questions. The food, okay, so the food in the Navy. You got to remember, you're on a ship, so you're not always going to get like amazing fresh food. But when you go to these different countries, when you pull in, you get to go experience their cultures. You get to go try out their food. You get to go to their markets. You get to experience what it's like to be in that country. So you get to try some amazing things. I think my favorite thing that I ever got to eat was when I went to Norway. I got to try reindeer, which I felt really bad. Okay, I felt bad at first because in Norway, they don't call them reindeer, it's Rudolph. Rudolph is Norwegian for reindeer. So you had to order a Rudolph steak or a Rudolph burger. So you're ordering it and you feel terrible, and then you get that first bite and you're like, okay, never mind, this is amazing. But you get to try some amazing things. When I was in Madagascar, they're islands. So they have all of their restaurants are set up right on the beach, and they have the guys go catch the fish and then bring it right to you and cook it right in front of you. So it's about as fresh as you can get. So yeah, the food when you're on deployment is amazing because you get to try all these different crazy, amazing things. And I mean, it's not like deployments from, World War II or Korea or Vietnam. You get care packages. So like on my birthday, I got them 3 weeks late, but my mom sent me cookies for my birthday. So that was nice. Let's see here. Okay, so all in all, 23 countries that I've been to. I've been all over Asia, Australia, Europe, and Africa. Europe was my favorite as far as like history, because you guys, like being in the US, you don't realize how old the world is, okay? I mean, the US is so young as far as being a country. And you go to places in Italy and you see the Colosseum, and it's like, it is so old, and it's been there forever. We go to the first pizzeria that was ever built that's still functioning, and it was created in the 1500s. So you get to go see some of these amazing things, especially in Asia too. You go see ruins of all these dynasties that you read in history books, and you get to actually see it, you get to experience it. And that's when you realize how old cultures are. So that's something that I didn't even think about until I went to all these different places. So that was amazing. What questions do you guys have? Because I can keep talking all day.
I'm not sure. You guys had
So I'm from a very small farming county in southern Indiana, and I am not a farmer. So I loved where I grew up, but I knew that I wanted to get out and I wanted to see the world. For me, staying in my hometown would have been like never leaving my bedroom. That's how it was for me. I wanted to travel. I wanted to go out and see. So I did my research a little bit on all the branches, but the Navy kept drawing me more to it because I have family in the Navy, but at the same time, I'm a history buff, so I love Navy history, and it was just like talking to all these different people, seeing their experiences and understanding like what they've been through. I was like, okay, well, I want to do that. So I ended up not being completely honest with my parents, because when you're 17 and you want to enlist, you have to have your parents' permission. So I convinced them to meet me at the store right beside the recruiting office. I didn't tell them that I'd already talked to a recruiter and I was trying to enlist and I needed their permission. So that was, and I mean, I left so quick. I was so young. I had been out of high school 14 days and left for boot camp, but it worked out so incredibly well because I'm not even 30 yet and I have years of amazing travel and experience, and it's just all done it out of the way. And I did it when I was in my early 20s, so I had the energy to do it. So that was nice. But yeah, no regrets whatsoever. It was amazing. So, all right. Yes.
You said that you did like humanitarian work. Like, what exactly did you do?
So we did a little bit of everything. Like my first thing that I did when I was 19, we pulled into Malaysia and we rebuilt an orphanage. And the way this orphanage was set up was it was an orphanage for newborns to 3-year-olds. And then when you were a 3-year-old, you got switched to the orphanage that was more of like a preschool. All right, so they could start teaching you, you know, fundamental learning skills right off the bat. But what's amazing about this is it was founded by this husband and wife, didn't have kids, and they brought women from the the underdeveloped villages, because in Malaysia there is no middle class. All right, you're either the 1% or you are the bottom of the poverty line. There's no middle class whatsoever. So they would take women from the villages who were pregnant and had never been pregnant before and didn't know how to be a mom. They would bring them to the orphanage, and they were the ones that took care of the babies so that they could learn basic maternal skills, essentially. So, but we got to rebuild one of the buildings, and we redid the playground for the older orphans. So, which when we first went there, I was expecting, you know, for it to be, you know, a sad place because it's an orphanage and it's babies and, you know, it's unwed mothers that are learning how to be moms. I was blown away by just the sheer, like, these kids were so happy. Just like big smiles on their face. Didn't speak any English, but they could sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and their ABCs perfectly. Like I have videos of all these little babies singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And so, but we would do stuff like that. We would we'd go help plant crops. We would just a little bit of everything, odds and ends, give food and water. Sometimes the community service was just going to the elementary school and playing soccer with kids. Like sometimes it just came down to that. We would also participate in ceremonies too for whatever country was hosting us. So when we went to Australia, we actually got to participate in the bombing of Darwin ceremony, which Darwin being bombed was kind of like our Pearl Harbor. So we got to go participate in that ceremony. We got to go participate in some military parades in Norway.
Charles Mack Jr. I'm a E5, United States Navy. My job, aviation ordnanceman, so I load bombs on jets. Currently, I'm a recruiter, and in 6 months, I'm going back out to deployment. Fresh out of high school, obviously, I didn't have a career path I wanted. Like I said, wanted to be a lawyer, a doctor, but I don't like blood, none of that stuff. Too sentimental for me, so I ain't doing all that. So this gives me the ability to learn a trade, gain experience, retire early, and still figure out what I want to do when I do decide to retire. Thought about coaching basketball one day, but you got to be good at that. So my team's winning. We're winning right now. All right, we're 3-1. Calm down. We're good. They're little kids, so we're good.
Out of all the places, what place would you say had the best food?
Best food? Ooh, that's a good question. The best pizza I ever had was Italy. I had like a margarita pizza, which was really good. Thailand, where the ship pulled in, they had some barbecue going. Still undecided on what it was. It was good though. Well, So that was the running joke. Like one day there was a dog or cat hanging out, and then the next day it was gone. So it was, hey, it was fresh. So it was good. It was fresh. Can't complain.
I thought it was chicken.
But right. But Thailand too. I mean, I like fried rice and all that good stuff. So Thailand is good, but don't really have like a favorite. I'm not one like for her. If you want like experiencing weird food and all that. All of them. I'm not one to experience too much.
So you know any people in here? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know all of them. We all work together.
Oh, okay. I know like in Mexico they eat like roaches. Like, have you ever tried a bug?
So not in the Navy, but before. I mean, I do the chocolate covered grasshoppers and stuff. I've done that, but.
No, they just pop it like walk around their markets with the bag. Like,
so there is some foreign countries you will go to where like you can't read the menu, so you'll just pick something. So my boss down there had one. It was like octopus. So they wheeled it out there. It was alive, and they just cut fresh chunks off and fair game. I'm like, no. That's what I said. I like my food cooked. Like I just started eating sushi, so you ain't had sushi?
I'm allergic to sushi.
Oh, well, you smart. California, the stuff that's cooked.
I need it cooked a little bit.
That makes
All
sense.
thing I can eat is crab. That's the
And even then, that's too much work. I don't like working to get all the meat out. So. That's a good question. What else? What other good question?
Did you meet your spouse in the Navy?
Nah, high school sweetheart.
Oh, that's cute.
So,
That's cute.
she got lucky. I'm in the Navy. Come on, but yeah, high school sweetheart. So I met her like my junior year of high school. So it worked out.
What's her name?
That's Rashida.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
So it was all right. That's a good question so far. So how about you guys? Any other good questions? You guys are making it easy because then I can.
Ben Roberts, United States Air Force, Vietnam veteran. I served in Vietnam 1968-69. Very good, excellent program. Students very interested, enjoyed talking to them, and I'll be back next year. Thanks a lot, and really enjoyed my day.